everybody, this is Johnny S with another vlog. We're gonna have a game review vlog. It's been some time since I've done quite a few, that I've done my last, sorry, I got a bad throat today, that I've done my last game related video vlogs, whatever you want to call them, reviews slash intros slash whatever. It has been some reason, there was some other things that I had kept me busy, hence why I didn't make the videos. In that time though, there have been many videos which I have played and which I have enjoyed. So this is 16 of those games. They are simple, casual, relatively budget, I will say PG rated, so you can play them with your kids, if you're a father like me. Not all, but quite a few of them, most of them, let's say. I do play them with my kid. I've got all of them. I'm going to go through them quickly so as to keep the video short. I'm just going to talk a little bit at the beginning just to explain a little bit. So all the game footage that you see behind the scenes is basically me playing the games. They are compatible and easy to play, let's say. Some of them I'm playing them with keyboard mouse, some of them I'm playing them with the PS4 controller, which is compatible. Like I said, they're very fun, easy, casual. You can jump in for a short period of time, enjoy them. Some of them are more comical, some of them are, but the whole gesture is that you can, play them together. Some of those do not support, and I'm not going to go into detail of which ones. You can search and find out. Some of them do not support local co-op, meaning that if you want to play multiplayer, you have to invite a friend. Hence, if you have one account in Steam, for example, you cannot play two people in the same room, and as forth. Some of them can, so I'm going to go through them quickly. I'm going to just state the price. The footage that you see is basically me playing at the back. I'm not going to go into great detail of what each one of these are, what they offer and so forth, but I'm just going to go really through them. So there's 16 of them, and we're going to start with the first one, which is basically it's called Mayhem Brawler. It's a comical one. It's on $3.90. Many of these things that I'm going to talk about, they have good discounts. Some of them I have bought them on cheaper discounts. In general, there are a lot of discounts. So most of the images that you're going to see me put up there is basically current prices as per Steam Shop discounts. And if I'm not mistaken, even to the moment that I'm making the video, they are still on discount. So that shows that they are relatively budget. The game that we're watching behind is called Mayhem Brawler. It's a very comical one. It's got a couple of characters to pick. It's basically like a brawler type game. You can play it with two people. It's very funny, very hilarious. And for $3.90, you know what I mean, it's quite relatively cheap. The other one that I want to talk about, the next game, is called the 9 Monkeys of the Shaolin. It's a weird, let's say, sort of a game. That game is for $4.99 presently on Steam app. Again, it's like a side-scroller platform game. Not exactly a brawler, I will say, but it looks like a brawler. It can be classified as a brawler. Very cheap game. It's got a very nice, hilarious look to it, with fluent movement and so forth. Not sure if you can play this co-op, local co-op, or if it's a single player. Third game in our list, so like I said, I'm going to go through them quickly. Third game in our list is called Achilles Survivors. At the moment it's on $5.59, so let's say $6. Basically, it's the story about Achilles, the Greek legend. It's a top-down survivor, endless bullet hell, let's call it a rogue action-like game. You can see behind the footage me playing it. There's a lot of integral mechanics, and there's a lot of things that are happening on the map which are kind of interesting when it comes to power-ups, level-ups and so forth. Basically, you just walk around automatically shooting and stuff, and you're trying to survive as you level up through the game. And there's a lot of unlockables as well that you can like achievements, let's say, that you can you can unlock. The fourth game is called Last Man Survivor. It's a little bit of a strange game, I will say. I was not expecting to like it. It's something like $2.49 to like €2.50. Again, as you saw, they're all cheap. It's got a lot of good elements into it. It's got a lot of like it's got inventories and multiple classes. It's got many things, and it's got a strange art, like a very hand-drawn artist look to it. It does remind a little bit of retro, let's say, but it's hilarious. You know what I mean? All the enemies, all the images that you see, they're like basically hand-drawn, animated, which adds a nice, interesting thing. Yet it does have the lighting, and it has you can tell it's a new age game, but basically it has kept that sort of hand-drawn style to it. But I did like it. Moving on to the fifth. This is an old game, very old game, but it has been recreated. It's basically called Gaunlet. Everybody knows Gaunlet from a long time ago in the arcades. It's a very known game. This is called the Slayer edition. So basically it's just like a very cheap $2.99, $3 game, which is like the Gaunlet that we used to play. You go through top-down isometric. This one is a little bit different in the sense that it's a little bit more story-driven. It's a little bit more RPG, let's say, action RPG sort of a thing. It's not a lot like how would you call it? It's not roguelike. It's not a survivor game. It's not like you get bombarded with enemies. There are actually stages that you go through. There's a campaign mode. There's an arcade mode. There's different ones. There's different classes you can pick. You got warriors. You got wizards and so forth, but it is a little bit different in the sense that it's not auto attack. You have to press the buttons and stuff. I suggest this game to be played with the controller. I use PS4, but any controller will do. It suits the sort of the style of the game, let's say. Moving on to number 6, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this is called. I've gotten all the points that I'm going to discuss down because I'm going to forget them off by heart. This game, it was nice, it was hilarious, it was nostalgic. It's called Double Dragon Neon. It's a little bit more expensive on $4.87, but again, like I said, all these games are cheap. It's a bit of nostalgia because of the Double Dragon, you know what I mean? There's another new Double Dragon to be released coming soon, which I'm really interested to see what it's like. This one, it was good, but besides the nostalgic part, I will not recommend it so much. But again, you can try it. It's got like hilarious elements into the game. But I thought the whole thing that kind of put me off this game is the feel of the game. You know what I mean? The distances, you have to be a lot more closer to the enemies, and this was obviously made obvious to my son also. He had a hard time sort of going through it, and he told me, no, Dad, I can't play, I'm not good at this. It's not a matter of being good at it, it's a matter of how they design it. You gotta be really close to the enemies. It seems as if they got punch and kick. It's like they added a lot of things, and the word Double Dragon kind of reminds you the Double Dragon brothers with the whips and stuff. There's not many whips, there's not many, so they call it the Double Dragon Neon, but to me it's not really a Double Dragon, you know what I mean? I did like at the beginning how it starts off with the blue guy and stuff, but again, it's way off. Anyway, again, like I said, it is a nice game. I will sort of recommend it, but with a pinch of salt, let's say. Game number 7 is called Deathless Survivors. It's a nice game, again top-down bullet hell kind of a game. You got multiple players and so forth. You got upgrades which are happening. It's on $4.87, relatively cheap, $5. Not much to say for this game, nothing like specific that stood out from it, but it's got very clean visuals. If you ask me like what's something about it that you remember, it's got very clean visuals in the sense that it's very easy on the eyes. The stages, there are multiple ones. At the back you will see some desert stage. It's not just that desert stage. Just a little bit of footage, classical rogue action like a game. Number 8, if I'm not mistaken, is Sacred Citadel. This again is like a very comical sort of a side scroller. I will not say it's an action roguelike game. It's a side scroller brawler, let's call the game. You got a couple of classes, a warrior, range class, I think I can't remember exactly. I think it's a mage, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, $2.49, so that's the price currently speaking. It's hilarious. You begin fighting orcs and things like that. So it's very nice. I don't think there's much more to say about it. Yeah, 9 is called the Takeover. The Takeover is on $3, $2.99 to be more precise. It's also a very nice game. It's very comical. You got 3 classes to begin with, and you unlock a 4th one that you can play. They've taken a weird twist in this game, if I'm going to say something different about it. It's a side scroller brawler, but what they've added is they've separated the basic attacks. You can use punch and kicks, and you can use a combination of these two as well as a special attack. So they've gone kind of more like a fighter kind of a game, let's say, but they've done it on a brawler, let's say, style. Number 10 is called Army of Ruin. It's on 479. This is a very hilarious, let's say, game which you got like little mages and stuff. Some of them are melee classes, some of them are range classes. Top-down action roguelike game. Something that I did like about this game, which again is a little bit different, is the pace. It's much more fast-paced. It gets a little bit more crazy sooner in the game, but they've managed to do it in a way that it doesn't overwhelm you. You know what I mean? But it is something that kind of stood out from it. Very nice, hilarious. At the background, you see me playing with the mage. It's, I think, one of the first classes. Auto attack, and you just level up. It's got a lot of variety when it comes to magic and so forth, and it's got a couple of things which are happening on the map, like objectives, with a couple of stages. Again, like I said, I haven't on all these games I haven't like clocked them and so forth. I've played quite a bit in a casual manner, let's say. Number 11, if I'm not mistaken. 15, 16. Yep, number 11 is called Conquest Dark. It's on 780, and I think out of our list it's the most expensive one, let's say. This is again a very interesting take to it. It's a top-down action roguelike game, but with the difference that you have to face your character. So you're basically playing either with keyboard mouse. Wherever you point your mouse, that's where he's going to attack. It has a feeling a lot more that you're playing with the distance on this one. So you gotta get like close to them to attack, and you gotta move backwards to defend and so forth. Very nice. You spawn in a stage, and the stages do change, but the initial stage that you spawn is like a little area, a circular area, and you are confined within that area. I have not gone a lot more down to see whether that changes or whether there's other stages which do not have this restriction. It's very interesting, nice game, and there's a lot of upgrades that you get, and they've done them in a nice, interesting way. So you roll your character at the beginning, male, female, and so forth. They kind of start like buck naked, and then you get more arms and stuff. And some of these armors that you wear from killing enemies, they work together and they combine nicely to give you extra perks. So that's an interesting sort of a thing. Yeah, very nice. Like I said, I think it's one of the most expensive, 780. So you know that kind of puts into perspective that all these games are relatively cheap. And number 12, yeah, number 12 is something which is a little bit more challenging, to say the truth. Basically, I was looking for a game which kind of reminded me of the NBA Jam. NBA Jam we used to play a long time ago. It was a crazy basketball game from the side. You used to score, and then you went on fire, and then you started doing slam dunks from the three-pointer, and you went crazy. I was looking for something that emulates this. This game was the closest one, if not the only one that kind of managed to get that feeling, yeah? But it does have a little bit of a difficulty when it gets a sense of the controllers. So if you got a kid in his relatively young age, it is a little bit challenging. You can play it solo, you can play it two player. Basically it's 2 vs 2 basketball, side on the side thing, as you can see on the back. You got steal, block, shoot, pass, you got all the things, and then like I said, you know, when you get to start scoring on a roll, then you get on fire. On this game, instead of being fire, it's like electrified, but you know, similar sort of concept. This game again is on 239, so very, very cheap, and yeah, very, very good. I did have fun, but like I said, I ended up playing it mostly by myself because my son was having more of a hard time playing the game. Number 13 is the Spell Brigade. This is a hilarious game, top-down action rogue-like game with mostly mages. It's focused around mages, hence why it's called the Spell Brigade. You got different mages. You begin the game. It's got a very nice, awesome sort of look to it. That's something that I liked about it. It's on 731, so that's also with the other one, so it's relatively on the more expensive, not expensive. It's $7, $8. You know what I mean? I think that's the most that you're going to pay out of all these games. Again, depending if you get them on a discount. Very nice graphics, I will say, and out of all of them, I think this is the one that kind of mellowed me out and calmed me down. So you play with one hand, you can have a smoke with the other one, or you can do whatever, you know what I mean? Not advocating for smoking, but again, you get what I'm saying. Very nice music, very nice graphics, clear graphics, very mellow, very cartoonish, but not in a drawn manner. It's a 3D cartoonish sort of a game. I don't think there's much more to say about this, but it is relatively interesting, and what kept me playing this game more in comparison to other ones is it had a lot of content, I will say. So you can unlock a lot of mages, you can unlock many people like that. And again, all these games, most of these games that I'm mentioning, you can actually play with them with friends. You can start a game, solo game, let's say, and you can invite a friend from Steam, as long as they have Steam, and you can play it together. You level up, you get many different spells. Yeah, that's about it. That's the Spell Brigade. I did have a lot of fun with this game. The other one is number 14, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Temtem Swarm. I know it's it's a strange title. Again, on 731. Some of them I might have bought them cheaper. I got a sense that the $7-8 ones I managed to get them on a much lower discount, but I could be wrong. This is another hilarious one. This is very good to play with your kid, but there is a specific thing which I did not like, is the fact that you cannot play local. So this is one of the ones that I would like to play with my son, but you're not able to play with your son. You can only play with friends online, meaning that as far as locally goes, one person can only play either with the keyboard or, again, like I said, with the joypad. It is hilarious. You start off with a platypus, kind of like a platypus thing. It brings out sort of like Japanese anime sort of vibes to the game. Very nice though, very nice, very hilarious. And as you go through the content, you unlock more and more things, more characters. I believe you power them up, like, you know, in most of these games, that's the whole concept. So it does begin a little bit more challenging, let's say, but the more you play it and the more you go through it, the more of an easier time you have. And in case you do face any kind of challenge or difficulty, then you can always go back after you've upgraded a couple of skills on your character, and you can go through the stages a little bit more quicker, a little bit more easier, let's say. The second last game is called Entropy Survivors. This game is not $5, $4.99 to be exact. It's one of my, out of all the games, I will say it's one that visually impressed me the most. That's all I'm going to mention and separate it in comparison to the other ones. This one was able to impress me visually the most. It has a lot of things into it, a lot of worlds, a lot of mechanics, a lot of robots. It's got a hilarious concept. You're basically a frog sitting on a robot. The frog has kind of like range skills and the robot has melee skills, which intertwine between these two. Top-down isometric action roguelike game, survival kind of a game, let's say, but it's very nice, very beautiful, very nice variations on the stages. It does get to become a lot crazy at stages, but they manage to do it in a manner which does not kind of dizzy you. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's the coloring, I don't know if it's the whole feel, the palette that they're using, but it's very easy on the eyes. Whilst it goes crazy. Like when I say crazy, it goes really crazy. This game again is one that you cannot play locally too, so there's no split screen or as you call co-op. There is co-op, but only by online, meaning Steam. So that's something to mention. And the last, number 16, let's go to it. I'm not putting this in order of like I said, it's just the way that I'm mentioning them. The last one is actually the last one is the most expensive one. Now that I said, I didn't even remember. It's €8.74. Wow, expensive, amazing. But it's the most expensive out of the list that we're saying. It's the last one, Streets of Rage. I don't know whoever is an old school from Streets of Rage, but I think a lot of people know about Streets of Rage. It was a side-scroller game where you started with 2-3 characters if I remember correctly, and then you unlocked a couple of other ones. It had like 10 different stages, let's say. You went through it. Similar thing, same concept, side-scroller brawler game with the same characters, let's say, and as you go through the content you gain sort of stars and experience and so forth, and you unlock many of the older characters. So the guy that we see here, for example, the back is the main character, Axel. He's one of the main guys that they play, and we unlock Axel version 1, so the first sort of pixelated form of Axel, and you can actually play the game, you know, with that version. Then you unlock the second version of him, the third version of him, and so forth. It's got a lot of different characters, a lot of the new hand-drawn characters, let's say, done very nicely. So that we rocked them, and they've added a couple of extra you know, characters to kind of spice things up. I think some of the characters in the old ones, you only encountered them as bosses. On this one, it's, you know, it's quite lengthy, let's say. It doesn't have like an amazing, let's say, sort of content. It's a simple sort of game. I think it's made up of 11 stages, if I'm not sure. So you're going through the story mode, let's say, you're going through the different areas and so forth, 11 different areas, and in the last area you find the big bad boss that you're chasing. At the end of each stage there is more of a boss encounter, let's say, and the big boss at the end. The usual, you know, usual thing that in most of these games you encounter. Yeah, very nice, again, one of my favorite. If I had to pick something out to kind of separate it, I would say it's the most nicely balanced and reworked out of all the ones. If I had to compare, for example, on the Double Dragon, which I had much more expectations and hope on the Double Dragon to remind me of the old style, let's say, but with betterly done. It did not capture. They changed too much of the Double Dragon, which in the sense it was not Double Dragon. This one has stayed true, but nicely done. So Axel's got a lot of the skills that he used to have. It reminds you in the feel when you play this character, actually brings back the memories, but it's nicely done, and it's, you know, new graphics. So that's about it, guys. I'd like to thank everybody for your time. I hope you liked the list. These are 16 games which are, like I said, fun, easy, casual, PG. Yeah, most of them you can play them like with your son and so forth. And yeah, and I think the most important thing out of all of them is they kept the element of fun. And now these days a lot of games are focused more on to have more of a challenge. Yeah, I'm not saying no. Challenge is good, but in some cases you just really want to play a game and have fun. Beat the guys up without facing a lot of difficulty, let's say, in doing so. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I would like to thank everybody for your time. Hope you're good, and we'll talk soon. Goodbye.